always say, your job is to go out there and fight and keep making them 7-figure paydays. Then we move you up to 8-figure paydays and then 9 figures.
That huge fight, they think it'll be Lomachenko. Do you think that will be the huge fight for you?
It's time for us to move and talk right here. Like I said before, we're not going to call no particular fighter out. And it's not like we ducking or dodging anyone. Lomachenko has to fight as many fights as possible extremely quick because he's very, very old. Tank is...
And a possible matchup because many people...
Ask Floyd Mayweather. He said the kid isn't ready yet for the fight. Floyd Mayweather is his promoter. Floyd Mayweather, if anybody, Jr., knows about boxing. The question of whether Gervonta Davis is ready to fight a master like Loma should be put to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let him answer that question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready. Answer that question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready. Ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready.
Oh God, man.
You want to fight tonight? You came up?
For me, because for what? For what? Money?
Big money?
You want me to throw out the picture?
No, that happened yesterday. I gotta do it again.
You know, I can fight with him for free. I can fight.
About Gervonta Davis, answer that question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready. Don't ask stupid stuff.
Oh man. Yo, what's going on, guys? Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day out there, man. For all the beautiful mothers that have given us unwavering love. You know what I'm saying? Where would we be without them? So happy Mother's Day to all. And just happy Sunday, man. Happy church day. Hopefully you guys are out there having fun, staying safe, and all of that thing, man. So Lomachenko fought, I don't know, a couple hours ago. And he looked phenomenal. I predicted that he would stop George Kambosos, mainly because George Kambosos looked horrible against Maxie Hughes, a fight in which he lost. But like in the sport of boxing, there are some very good fighters like Mauricio Herrera, Maxie Hughes, that no one's going to cry for them when they get robbed. No one's going to really bat an eye or, back their corner. So that's basically based on that performance. I thought Lomachenko should dominate and knock out George Kambosos. That's exactly what he did. George Kambosos had a pretty good game plan for one round. He started executing it pretty good, attacking the body, taking out a page out of Teofimo Lopez. And then he just stopped going to the body. It's like, George, if Orlando Salido can do it, you can do it too, bro. Just stop headhunting. You see, guys like Canelo Alvarez, Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, these guys are great defensive fighters. It's very difficult to hit them in their face, okay? And as Top Rank Bob Arum says,
Mayweather Jr. Let him answer that question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis.
Look, man, so there's amazing fighters that they're very difficult to hit their face, whether they block punches well, they slip, they roll, they get their head off the center line. They anticipate the punches that you're going to throw before you even throw it, right? They get out of range. They make you miss by centimeters. Look, man, you can't beat these guys and hoping to land one punch to knock them out. It, guys like Jorge Linares can do it. It's possible, but don't bank on it, right? And every single round, you have to have multiple game plans, right? You have to give them one look and then change it up. It's like if you're a pitcher in baseball and you throw 105 miles per hour. That's amazing, right? It's strong. You have good command of it. You can hit your corners. You can jam them on the inside. You can blow it right past them down the center, whatever the case may be. But you need off-speed pitching as well. You need a changeup. You need a curveball. You need a cutter. Fuck it, dude. You need a knuckleball. Same thing in boxing. Same thing in basketball. You have to have multiple game plans, especially at the elite level. Okay? Like Lomachenko said, I was expecting more. When they asked him how tough was George Kambosos, he goes, my respects to him. He's very tough, but I trained extremely hard for a very tough fight, and I expected more. Basically saying that, in other words, and in layman's terms, George Kambosos was easy work, right? George Kambosos lost all creativity. Like, bro, your name is Ferocious Kambosos. All right. So you have to act and be ferocious. And, you know, in spurts he was, and in moments he was. But it wasn't sustained pressure, right? It wasn't sustained pressure. But regardless, George Kambosos is an overachiever. Like, he's done great things in his career. Like, he became undisputed. And kind of like Andy Ruiz when he knocked out Anthony Joshua, George Kambosos had a similar night to that. In his defeat, or no, when he defeated Teofimo Lopez. That was amazing. He's like a 14-1 underdog. The world was paying attention to him now. And he was looking to fight Lomachenko soon after. And obviously, we ended up finding out that he defended it twice, or fought Devin Haney twice. That's incredible, man. So salute to George Kambosos. I hope he doesn't retire, but there's not really much left for him in terms of can he make another run and becoming a champion? I don't think so, right? And as for Vasily Lomachenko, I was watching his post-fight conference, and he might not fight this year, right? They asked him, "Will we see you again in 2024?" And he goes, "Maybe, maybe." Obviously, boxing is a taxing sport. It's a debilitating one, and if you train like a madman, sure, the amount of fights and like Lomachenko needs his R&R, right? Regardless, what a performance, man! What a performance! I've never seen anything like Lomachenko, to be honest with you. There's guys like Guillermo Rigondeaux, guys like Erislandy Lara, Pernell Whitaker, and all of these guys that are flamboyant with their defense, right? But the way Lomachenko fights, not even Manny Pacquiao would do that. Yes, he used the speed and he had the angles and he would throw punches from, basically off the center line, but he wouldn't pivot and like the creativity of Lomachenko, right, is unparalleled. And there's fighters that have tried to copy and emulate his style, but they're not. There's only one Lomachenko. He's incredible. And boxing has done him dirty. And that's just the reality, man. They've done him dirty. And a lot of the times it's one of those things where fighters like Naoya Inoue or Tim Tszyu, it's like, you guys shouldn't come to America and fight because they're very unappreciative. The rest of the world deserves to watch you guys' craft and a master and a painter at work. You get what I'm saying? Like Lomachenko, I'm surprised that a lot of Lomachenko fights, like, he doesn't fight at his home state, his home country. American fans, there's a small scale, a small sample size. I actually really do appreciate guys like Lomachenko, Gennady Golovkin. And in America, you're not really going to get a fair shake, right? For all intents and purposes, the American fighters here have no honor, right? They have no honor when they win, right? They're quick to talk a lot of shit and smear it all over your face if they are victorious over you. They have no honor in defeat. Immediately, right? Once the loss starts to sink in, guys like Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, Stephen Fulton, right? Devin Haney, sore losers. And they're just not going to, they have no honor. They're gonna make a boatload of excuses, not gonna take accountability, cast blame and point the fingers at everything of the surrounding, the totality of the circumstances. Oh, check the glove, failed drug test. It was my corner, spies in the camp. That's American boxing for you guys, right? They have no honor in victory. They have no honor in defeat. They stand for nothing other than the green, right? They're willing to cherry pick, age you out. So I hope Lomachenko never fights Tank Davis. Tank Davis does not deserve to share the ring with fighters that have honor, that stand for something, for country, for people, for family values. Tank Davis doesn't deserve to share the ring with guys like Lomachenko, right? He had an opportunity and he didn't want to, right? He listened to his advisors. And it's not like Lomachenko was trying to get an upper hand on anything. Tank was a champion. It's not like Lomachenko was asking Tank to move up in weight. It was not like he was asking him to, meet and catch weights. No, just to abide by the rules. You're a top fighter. I'm a top fighter. And let's see whose style is better, who's the more complete boxer. And to this day, Lomachenko continues to take on the tough fights with honor. I can't really stress it enough, but honor means a lot, guys. I remember watching Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. Basically, two friends, two pals, turned enemies, not just opponents, enemies, where essentially they had a lot of disgust and disdain towards one another. Get what I'm saying? And that incredible second fight, I keep going back to that moment where Canelo slips and his knee touches, and Triple G could have landed a shot, but he didn't. And he kind of like shakes his head like, no, that's not the right way. I miss seeing Triple G fight. I'm not saying that he's overrated. No, he's extremely rated, but he underachieved in my opinion, right? Now, you could say that the sport of boxing did him dirty. You could say that he won the Canelo first fight and that he should have been unified. Well, no, more than unified. He should have gotten his accolades and he should have had a victory over Canelo Alvarez, right? But regardless, man, fighters like Triple G, Naoya, Inoue, Lomachenko, they should go where they're appreciated. You see, look how the fans in Australia treated Lomachenko as he was one of their own. He doesn't get that treatment here in the United States. You get what I'm saying? If Naoya Inoue were to come here, I don't know, and fight in Las Vegas, he wouldn't be revered and cherished and applauded for his efforts like in Japan, or let's say if he were to go to the UK. Again, a lot of the time the American fan base, kind of like the American fighter, they have no honor. They have no code. They don't really stand for anything. Well, there's true pioneers of the sport of boxing, guys like Vasily Lomachenko, Triple G, Naoya Inoue, that fight with honor, that are willing to take on the toughest challenges, And when they go fight in other countries, they're applauded for their freaking efforts, guys. That's awesome. That's awesome to see. I don't know how many fights Lomachenko has left, but I hope one of those fights isn't against Tank Davis. Tank Davis doesn't deserve it, right? Tank Davis is not a legacy fighter, okay? He had an opportunity to fight George Kambosos to become undisputed. He down talked it and said, "Oh man, I'll fucking fight that guy for. I don't care about the belts. I'll fight him." Okay, so those are good fighting words. And then George Kambosos calls up Tank Davis, and those negotiations go nowhere. See, guys like George Kambosos, they're overachievers. You know, he didn't have to fight Lomachenko, but he knew that it was something that he wanted to do and share the ring with. Yeah, he got battered and beat to a pulp, but it was an amazing. It was good, bro. It's like salute to you, George. Like you're doing it your way, bro. You know, you had an amazing night like Andy Ruiz had versus Anthony Joshua, and you didn't try to cower and play politics and hide behind those belts. No, you use those belts to leverage yourself. Stadium fights in your home country against a young, undefeated fighter in Devin Haney, and then you still didn't settle. You didn't settle there. You still went on and still tried to fight Lomachenko. That's honor. That's respectable. Like you can commend that type of action and behavior because that's what true fighting and fighters look like. As rudimentary and ferocious George Kambosos is, he still fought everybody that he possibly could get his hands on and that was willing to fight him at 135. So hopefully Lomachenko never gives Tank Davis a fight because Tank Davis didn't want to participate, and he's got skills. You see, his power is real, his speed is real, his IQ is great too. But Tank is just not a legacy fighter. And kind of like when Triple G had to succumb to all the shenanigans and stipulations and headaches when negotiating with Golden Boy and fighters like Canelo Alvarez, that's what essentially Lomachenko is going to have to deal with PBC and Al Heyman and all these corruption. They're always going to try to get an upper hand, and it's just going to get away and deviate from just competing between those ropes. It's going to be everything else and strangulate you before you even step inside of that ring. And those are just headaches and just bullshit that I feel like Lomachenko doesn't have to adhere and stand by. Like, no way, dude. Go meet your family. I think they asked him if he was going to support his countrymen and watch his fight. And I think he said, sorry, but I'm going to go home. Hopefully, he's there with Alexander Usyk. But we'll see, man. We will see. Regardless, man, what a beautiful performance. Like, that was awesome to see the return of Lomachenko. It's just awesome to see. I'm glad, that he's still able to stop these fighters at 135. It just kind of reminded me of like the same sequential punches was evident in last night's fight. Like the performance that he had against Jorge Linares, really similar body punch. Started with a headshot and then he finished like just so smart, man. Freaking Lomachenko, dude. What a beast, bro. What a beast. What a beast. But yeah, guys, I have pretty much nothing else to say about that topic. I think I kind of already addressed what it is. American fighters, man, just don't have honor in their victories, right? They don't have honor in defeat. They come up with a bunch of conspiracies and how everyone's out to get them, and they always want to play the victim card, let alone the race card. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But regardless, you don't see that from guys like Alexander Usyk, Triple G, and Lomachenko, right? When it's evident There's a lot of xenophobia going on, right? Like, look at Dmitry Bivol and how he's treated by the WBC. But the same Russian in Artur Beterbiev gets better treatment. Make it make sense. Like, that wouldn't happen to an American fighter. Oh, we're not going to let Devin Haney become a champion because, you know, we in the WBC, we were raised Catholic. We cannot let a Muslim become and hold our championship belt. That will never happen. So why does it happen that the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman try to blackball Dmitry Bivol for being Russian? Is Artur Beterbiev not Russian? Like, that's crazy. It's crazy. Like, why Beterbiev? Why Bivol? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's insane. That's like grounds for a libel. That's grounds for, you know, like fair and unequal treatment. Like, you can sue that fucking company. Like, that shit doesn't stand here. Like, equal opportunity, right? Like, with their employers and, like, holy. But anyway, guys, happy Mother's Day. You know, for everybody that still has both parents, man, it's the best times of your life, especially if you have a great relationship with them. I always appreciate the little fine little moments. Just a simple conversation, it goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? And I would harp you guys to record a conversation, you know, just so you can have like a voice memo from when they're not here. It's always great to hear the sound of their voice and just appreciate the best times because, you know, we live relatively short lives and time is fleeting, right? You know, it's one of those things where, like, when you're a kid, oh, you can't wait to grow up. But when you grow up, you're like, oh man, I wish I was a kid, you know? But yeah, time is fleeting and you wonder, like, damn, where does time go? Why does it pass so by? Like, I just feel like I discovered or saw Lomachenko for the first time last night, and you almost realize, like, nah, dude, he's been a pro for almost 10 years. Wait, or even longer, right? And you're like, damn, Lomachenko's really been a pro for over 10 years? Like, that's insane. I think he started boxing pro in 2012. So it's probably already been 12 years. That's insane. Yeah, he started in 2013. So now, 9 years. Anyway, guys, have a great Sunday. Stay safe. Enjoy your the family time. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Maybe Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk. It's a great fight, man. Hopefully Usyk comes through. And I hope he knocks. Imagine guys, what would it look like if Alexander Usyk were able to drop Tyson Fury? I mean, Tyson Fury, he's got heart. He's got grit. He's tough, man. But I look back at that performance against Otto Wallin, and I think to myself, why did Tyson Fury struggle in that fight? Was it the southpaw stance? Was it the movement? You see, Tyson Fury would have always gotten beat by Anthony Joshua. That's just the reality. And there's a reason why he saves Joshua for last. The politics, the sport of boxing, they want Tyson Fury to win that fight. Because essentially nobody wants to see Usyk win and see a third fight versus Anthony Joshua. They just don't. Nobody wants to see it. They do and they would love to, and the money in the casinos and everybody would love to see Tyson Fury, undisputed fighter from the UK, fight Anthony Joshua and have a trilogy between those two. They don't, the powers that be do not want to see Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua for a third time. The powers that be want Tyson Fury to win so they can have a great UK showdown between Fury and AJ. All right? That's the story. That's the narrative. That's the underlining tone that whoever is going to be reffing and judging this fight, if they don't get the job done, they have to. If Fury doesn't get the job done, they have to help Tyson Fury get the victory over Alexander Usyk because it's a bigger mega showdown, something new for the fans. And essentially, you can say 90% of the population want to see Tyson Fury versus Joshua, the two best heavyweights. If Fury would be victorious over Usyk, that's what they want to see. So hopefully Alexander Usyk has a rematch clause as he has more of the belts and Fury only has the WBC and ring lineal status as well. But you know what I'm saying? It was cracking the Mexican G. I'm doing good, bro. Happy Mother's Day to you, bro. Hopefully you have a safe and good Sunday. What you think about that? What you think about Vasily Lomachenko? Were you able to watch that fight against George Kambosos? What are your thoughts, man? And what do you think about Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua? I mean, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, man. I think they're gonna try to rob Usyk. To be honest with you, just business sense, it just makes sense, for every standpoint. Casinos, promoters, that's a fight that they can sell to the people. They can sell to the fans. They can sell to the networks. Everybody wants to see Fury versus Joshua. And the only way that's going to happen is if Fury is victorious. If Usyk beats and knocks out, if Usyk knocks out Fury, that fight ain't going to happen. It could happen. Looks like Joshua is willing to fight even people coming off losses, but Joshua never fought Wilder. Or Wilder never fought Joshua, respectively, whatever you guys want to call it. They lost out on a lot of money. And then if Fury were to lose to Usyk, I'm sure Joshua would still fight Fury and eventually try to fight Usyk. I don't know. But, the powers that be, they would want Tyson Fury to beat Usyk. And if they can't get the job done, they're going to rob him. The Mexican G goes, I didn't watch it, but I heard about the outcome. Watching the highlights, it looked like a bad night for Georgie. Yeah, man, it was a really one-sided beatdown, It was only competitive for one round. George Kambosos took a page out of Teofimo Lopez and targeted the body. And then he just stopped going to the body. He started trying to land. He had a couple punches here and there, but it wasn't sustained pressure. And he kind of lost all creativity with his punch selection. There were some sharping punches that he would throw, like a mean left hook and an uppercut. Like he had ferocious intentions, for all intents and purposes, but he wasn't setting up the punches correctly. You see, Lomachenko, he wants to land Fury. He wants to land punches and bunches. So you have to catch him coming in. And every time, for every punch or three punches that Lomachenko lands, you got to make sure you land one or two. And you got to target his arms, right? Kind of like Canelo targets a lot of these fighters, his arms. That's what George Kambosos had to do. And he just didn't, bro. He just didn't really he let his hands go, but by the time that he let his hands go, like Loma was already taking a back step and he was already slipping in the counter. Like, I don't know, man. You would think that just being as an avid boxing fan or a boxer and, watching Lomachenko fights, as I'm sure George Kambosos studies and just as a fan appreciates the talent that Lomachenko brings, that you would have certain bags and tricks up your sleeve against that. But, George Kambosos is not very studious. You saw the lack of imagination and punch creativity when he fought that southpaw Maxi Hughes. And even though they robbed Maxi Hughes, like, why would we think that George Kambosos would look any better against the high-tech Vasily Lomachenko, So that's basically what happened. You think to yourself, it's like, you really were a one-hit wonder. And on top of that, you can almost say that you got lucky beating Teofimo Lopez. I would not think that he would be able to replicate that success. You see, I don't want to make any excuses for Teofimo Lopez. He shot himself on the foot. He made business decisions by not letting Top Rank, his promotional company, host that fight. They he wanted to take it to purse bid. He didn't like the money that Top Rank was offering for that fight. So Triller and DAZN bid respectively. Triller overpaid for that fight. And it got postponed, I don't know, 3-4 times, right? And Tio, as big as he was for the weight class at 135, had to make the weight X amount of times. Ticket sales weren't selling. It was very unprofessional for Triller, and they paid essentially a $1 million penalty. Be that as it may, that was all Teofimo Lopez's fault, right? He's the one that, where Bob Evans said the chickens are gonna come home to roost, and Teofimo Lopez fucking shot himself on the foot, and on that night, with that context, the totality of circumstances leading up to that night, it proved that George Kambosos was actually the favorite in that fight, given that probably, Teofimo was burnt out from trying to make that weight, for staying so low at that weight. And essentially, that was his last fight at 135. The Mexican G goes, I think Kambosos was always overrated. I would agree. Teofimo Lopez beats Kambosos 8 out of 10 times. Yeah, man, I would say even 9 out of 10 times. I think that was really one of those fights that was an anomaly. If we look at what Teofimo has done since that fight versus what George Kambosos has done since that fight, there's only been one fighter that has actually replicated their success, Teofimo Lopez, right? He went on to beat Josh Taylor to become undisputed, right? I mean, I know the politics fucked over Teofimo, but that was undisputed. He's ring lineal. So it's essentially the same thing. And he beat an undefeated Josh Taylor. And George Kambosos, salute to him, because he takes on all the toughest challenges and doesn't back down from a challenge. But he hasn't been able to replicate that level of success that he had against Teofimo Lopez. Didn't do it 24 rounds against Devin Haney. Couldn't do it last night. And he didn't even look good on Maxie Hughes. So, yeah, to your point, George Kambosos was a one-hit wonder. You can almost say that it was a fluke. He was a fluke. It was a fluke performance that night against Teofimo Lopez. But yeah, man, regardless, George Kambosos didn't have a lot of success that night, but he never quit. And he got hit with a lot of punches, and then, of course, a body shot, kind of like Jorge Linares got dropped by that same body shot. George Kambosos did stand up, but, Loma, he smelt the blood in the water, and he went for the kill. Kambosos didn't try to hug. And yeah, man, essentially did his best, Ryan Garcia taco shell defense, and he turned his back, and the ref had to stop it. And, the corner also throws in the flag or the towel. But yeah, man, you didn't miss much, just other than the return of Lomachenko. Like always, Tank Davis likes to interject. He always likes to, I don't know. Oh, I'll fight this dude next. And, let me first get through Frank. And my thing is this. That's a good fight if Tank is to become victorious and fight Frank Martin, a southpaw, then go on to Lomachenko, another southpaw. That's proper, right? It makes sense. The stars are aligning. That would look to be one of the things. It would be a precursor to what's coming next if Tank were to beat Frank Martin, right? But when I go back to all of these tapes, right?
Why he can't fight with me when I stay in the 130? Why?
Exactly. Why didn't Tank Davis want to fight me when we were both at 130, right? Look what Bob Arum says, man.
Answer that question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Javante Davis when his promoter says he's not ready.
But you know,
Don't ask stupid stuff about Javante Davis when his promoter says he's not ready.
Oh man, when I look back at the archival footage of these interviews, right?
It's probably 10 years or 11 years younger than Lomachenko. Lomachenko will be 40 before you know it. There's no rush, Tank. Your job is to continue to go out there and do what you're doing. You make
There's no rush, Tank. You continue to keep doing. Lomachenko's old. So if he's old then he's old now. Fuck you two. Fuck Floyd and fuck Tank Davis, bro. These people don't have no honor. They don't stand for nothing. Right? They don't stand for nothing. Why should Lomachenko give Tank Davis an opportunity now? Has Tank Davis, is he a legit champion at 135? Did he ever become undisputed? Does he take on the toughest challenges? He has no honor. I hope Lomachenko never gives Tank Davis the fight. Because like they said, if he's old then, well, he's much older now. So why fight him? You see, that's why I hope, sidebar, but that's why I hope Naoya Inoue never comes here, right? Not only do these fighters, these American fighters, have they ruined the purity of the sport of boxing, right? They have no honor, you see. It doesn't matter about protecting your O, right? That's not what boxing is about. It's not about being perfect. That's not what perfection looks like, being unblemished and having no losses. No, in fact, I think, for example, sidebar, Devin Haney, I'm more interested in his career now than previously before, right? Because previously before, everybody was trying to make Devin Haney into a star, right? The WBC catered to Devin Haney and made him a fake email champion while making Lomachenko a franchise champion. You see, why should Triple G, Lomachenko, all of these guys, Naoya Inoue, come to America when they're not going to get equal treatment, fair treatment, and they're going to ruin your legacy, right? They're going to play politics like they're doing to Dimitri Bivol. They're going to play politics so you guys don't shine. Why the fuck would you guys come to America? The American fans, right? The American fighters, they have no honor. They have no respect. They don't stand for nothing. And they don't applaud your valiant efforts. Because they have no pride to be Americans. There is no pride. Ellos no tienen orgullo. They're not happy. They're miserable fucks. They don't deserve your talents. Right? Look how revered those Australian fans, right? Look how revered those Australian fans treated Lomachenko as he was one of their own, right? He will not get that here. In California, Brian Castaño fought Jermell Charlo in Carson, California for undisputed, the first fight that was a draw. Amazing fucking fight. Only 4,000 people showed up. More than half the stadium was empty and the tickets were less than $60. So no, Mexican G, boxing does not count in America, USA. America is one of the most, not overrated, but when it comes down to boxing, they're extremely overrated. They're horrible promotional companies here, right? That's why Showtime and HBO are no longer existing and supporting the sport of boxing, because boxing in America is dead. The black fighter, they're fucking sore losers. Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney, Stephen Fulton, this victimized mentality that they have and their fans, they can't accept the loss. They don't win with honor. They don't lose with honor. They blame the finger on everything else. Oh, loaded gloves. Oh, they can't accept the loss, right? I'm an Errol Spence fan, right? I accept that loss, right? Bud Crawford was just better in every aspect. Professional in and outside of the ring, the better inside out boxer, just a legacy fucking fighter. But at least Spence stood on his business that he said that he was gonna do something, and he went out there and did it. He just didn't get the job done. You know, he wanted to become undisputed at welterweight, and the reality is Spence fucking Bud snatched that from him. He's like, boom, that's mine. Let me show you how it looks like. Let me show you what it's done, right? Jermell Charlo, yeah, he got beat, and yeah, he cowered and didn't really fight Canelo Alvarez, right? But at least he made no excuses. So, like, I love my people here in America, but the reality is we are undeserving of a lot of things. We don't know that the best things, we don't appreciate the privileges, the rights that we have. We take it for granted. We don't appreciate it, man. It's never enough, right? And it's just a lot of excuses, right? Even when they win, they rub it in your face. When they lose, here come all the excuses. When it comes down to Devin Haney, right? I'm excited for his career, what happens after this Ryan Garcia's fiasco. Like, now you get to bounce back, bro. Yeah, you're still a champion on paper, though you got beat by Ryan, right? But at least now, what is next? How do you bounce back? What is the redemption story? What is your redemption song? What does your career look like post your first loss? Right? Like, for example, look at Jojo Diaz. I'm extremely happy and proud of that dude. He has like 5 or 6 losses, like Gabe Rosario, but they continue to fight every single badass dude. And they do so competitively, you know? I just wish Jojo Diaz can become a champion like at 126 or at 130. Like, dude, go back down and try to fight Oscar Valdez. That would be an amazing fucking fight. You're too small at 135. You're too small for 140. But, dude, salute to you, Jojo. You got skills. You got heart, bro. But go back down, please. You feel me? But it's just like, but he makes no excuses either. Just like, fuck, dude. Like, damn. The Mexican G goes, that's true. They do look for the excuses. The biggest legends in boxing come from America and Mexico. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The history of boxing is huge. It's filled with the blood of American blood and Mexican blood. Yeah, like they make up boxing. A lot of it. The legendary top fighters, the Hall of Famers that people revere and emulate are from America, are from Mexico, right? The culture, the impact of Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., Salvador Sanchez. Yeah, the list goes on. Like all the heavyweights, Muhammad Ali. I understand, but guess what? Legends are being made in other countries, and that's okay. Because they actually appreciate that history that American and Mexican boxing have left. And guess what? They want to cement themselves amongst those pillars of the past years and make it their own as well. So it's okay for Japan to have an amazing fighter in Naoya Inoue. And guess what? It's okay for Naoya Inoue to not fight here in America. Because guess what? Look what happened to Tim Tszyu. He was doing great things in Australia, filling out stadiums. The minute he comes... Not the minute. I mean, he's fought here before. But when he comes back here again, like, look how easily people are willing to just trash him rather than that valiant effort. Because he could have bitched out and be like, you know what? No contest, guys. I got fucking blood on my face from a fucking elbow to my head after that second round, right? The conclusion of the second round. He could have been no mas. And he could have went back home undefeated with his title. But he goes, no, let's fucking fight. I can fucking still dog him out. And he almost did. I mean, I thought Tim Tszyu still won. But regardless, it was a close fight. And Sebastian Fundora, off a year layoff, got an opportunity of a lifetime because Keith Thurman, you know, had a fake-ass injury. Like, dude, bravo. That was amazing. But look how American fans treat him. We knew Tim Tszyu wasn't shit. Well, if that's the case, how come you guys didn't put your life savings on Sebastian Fundora. The fucking odds were like plus 500, plus 1,000 if you thought Fundora was gonna win by decision. So the reality is, boxing is dead in America. Not Stephen Fulton, was Jerron Boots Ennis versus Cody Crowley. They had a press conference on, I want to say Thursday or so. Nobody showed up. Nobody was there. To this day, I don't think nobody is talking about it. When Cody Crowley started talking about when Boots, his father, Boozy or whatever his fucking name is, when they asked him, how come you rejected the first fight when we sent you a contract? Cody Crowley said this. I don't know if Cody Crowley is American or is from Canada. I think he's Canadian. And they asked him, like, how come you rejected the fight? And he goes, dude, my father committed suicide. I'm not even thinking about fucking boxing. So like, and when he started to say that, people were booing him. You get what I'm saying? They started booing him for real life shit. That's the American fan base for you. That's American culture. Fuck that, dude. They don't deserve these amazing athletes to come here, right? Like look at Tank Davis. They have no fucking honor, dude. If I had Tank Davis's skill, I would fight Lomachenko, bro. I have the speed, I have the IQ, I have the experience, I have the power that Loma doesn't have. As a man, I know that I can beat him. I don't have to wait 9 years after the fucking fact to then finally step up with him. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I couldn't respect him after that. The Mexican G goes, Andrade also makes a lot of excuses when a Benavidez beat him. He also faked low blows. Agreed, bro. Like, Benavidez fucked Demetrius Andrade up in fucking 3-4 rounds. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, they don't deserve that, bro. They don't deserve that. Like, fuck those people, bro. I don't like Japanese fans. They're talking a lot of shit on the internet when Inoue beat Nettie. Well, I don't even really be engaging with that. I don't really care about Japanese fans like that. Their markets are down. I don't give a fuck about, oh, look, Inoue sells out these stadiums. Listen, congratulations. But I'm not impressed. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know what a show looks like. I know what false pretense looks like. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're making really good money over there. Brian Garcia is doing that too. And he doesn't even have to become undisputed twice in two different divisions. You get what I'm saying? Like, Naoya anyway, the Japanese, they're just looking for an amazing star. He's a cool little fighter. Name me one fighter that's on his resume that was on a pound-for-pound list. Don't give me an old Nonito Donaire, not on the pound-for-pound list, not at that age. You get what I'm saying? He only had one fighter, Nonito Donaire, an older fighter, out of his prime fighter, and he broke his fucking face. Luis Neri, he's pretty fucking good. I like Luis Neri, right? He knocked you down in the fucking first round. And Luis Neri hasn't really been dedicated to the sport of boxing ever since he left the Canelo camp. So I don't really care about the Japanese fans, right? Their fucking fighters suck. Naoya anyway sucks. The 122 division sucks. Let me see you go beat MJ Akhmadaliev. Let me go see you beat Vinaldo Lopez. Good luck, right? Junto Nakatani, okay, congratulations, bro. You had a hellacious knockout against, Alejandro Santiago. You had one against the Andrew Maloney. But no disrespect, but those guys suck. They're not all that great, okay? Like I said before in a previous video, down south of 122 pounds, there's a 118-pound champion, 116, 114, 112, 110, 108. Those are all bridger weights. Those divisions don't even fucking exist. The only reason they did that shit is because the small man doesn't know how to fucking market themselves. So they play this bullshit pound for pound. Oh, dude, I'm a fucking 10-time champion. And it only fucking covers 14 pounds. I don't give a fuck about them, dude. Like, does Naoya anyway need to come to America? I don't give a fuck if you do or not. Like, I'm gonna appreciate you what you're doing over there in Japan. You got power and speed, and I like watching you fight. But let's not get it twisted. You're good for a little man. You're not great for average-sized human beings. The fuck out of my face with that shit. Anyway, I don't like the Japanese fans. I like Japanese fans, bro. I'm sorry, dude. I drive a Toyota. I love Pokemon. I love anime. I like the culture, dude. I can't say that I don't like them. They're talking a lot of shit on the internet anyway, beat Luis Neri. It doesn't matter, bro. Luis Neri showed that their king could get dropped. And that Luis Neri is one of our better fighters in the smaller divisions. But he's not our Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, fucking dropped his ass in the first round. Look, all those fucking Japanese with their COVID masks. They were like, oh, Papi chulo, mi rey. And I just fucking with you, bro. The Mexican G goes, Boots ain't no real star. He's overrated. He has an overrated career. He gets way too much praise for doing absolutely nothing. He's accomplished nothing in this sport. He has one good win, and that's against Roman Villa. The rest of his fucking resume sucks. Yeah. The Mexican G goes, nah, bro. That's the toxic black fan base. Yeah, man, but that's the American fan base, right? Not saying that white people aren't like paying attention to boxing, but not really. They're into UFC. They're interested in watching baseball, American football, right? They don't give a fuck about boxing. They just really don't. I mean, I'm sure that they somewhat tune in, but if they were to do the demographics and the charts and see who bought the pay-per-view between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, guarantee you is mostly, Latinos, Mexicans, and blacks. I don't know, 2% were white. They don't really be fucking with boxing like that, So when I talk about America, I'm talking about the black fan base, the black fighter. And we don't have a lot of Mexican American fighters. It's either Mexico, right? How many Mexican American fighters do we really have that are really doing it big like that? Like Andy Ruiz, I don't even know if he's a professional fighter anymore. I know he has a fight in August 3rd against, Baby Ribs Miller, but like he's been non-existent. Ryan Garcia fights once every blue moon. Jojo Diaz is really the only active fighter. Bam Bam Rodriguez, you don't really hear so much about him. Like once every blue moon as well. He had an amazing fight earlier in the year versus Sonny Sonny Edwards. And he's going to be fighting El Gallo Estrada soon. But, there's not a lot of Mexican-American fighters, The American fighters, I'm just going to distinguish that, Mexican-American and Mexican fighters, I'm just going to bundle them all as one, even though there's a big disparity between the two in terms of culture. And then also, American is the black fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy bejesus. It is time, dude. Holy shit. All right. The Mexican Jew goes, I think Bam Bam Rodriguez would beat the shit out of Inoue. I would love for that fight to happen, but I think Bam Rodriguez would at least need 20 pounds of muscle. But Bam Rodriguez is probably the best fighter right now, in my opinion, that can emulate Vasily Lomachenko's style, to the fullest. He's really close. That performance that he had against Sor Rugvinsai and that performance that he had against Carlos Cuadras, if he were to add muscle, fuck yeah, I would favor Bam Rodriguez to beat Naoya Inoue. But if they were to fight right now, Naoya Inoue knocks out Bam Rodriguez. He's just bigger, faster, stronger. But yeah, Rodriguez has his own road, and that starts out with Gallo Estrada. If he were to be able to beat him, then he can beat the other small legend from Nicaragua, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. If he does that, then slowly move up. I would like to see Rodriguez then fight guys like Junto Nakatani. I think that would be great. But, there's baby steps. You got to, don't leapfrog. Don't try to play this pound for pound game. Make your own legacy. like Naoya Inoue created his own legacy. I'm not trying to shit on Naoya. I'm a fan of him, but let's not get it twisted. You're good for a little man, right? When you fight average sized human beings, you're not that good. You're not better than Manny Pacquiao. You're not better than Canelo Alvarez. Those guys reign supreme over you. They're that much greater. Okay, it's not comparison. You cannot compare Naoya Inoue to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is 100 times, 1,000 times better. He's fought better competition, more undefeated fighters, people on the pound for pound list when he fought them. I don't care if you're a 2-time, 3-time undisputed. Those are against the nobodies. Who the fuck is Marlon Tamales? Who's Marlon Tamales? Who did he beat? He didn't beat MJ Akhmadaliev. He did not do enough to take 2 belts away from him. You get what I'm saying? Marlon Tamales is a decent little fighter. Nothing special. Not amazing power. Not amazing hand speed. Not amazing footwork. He's decent. Who's Paul Butler? Dude, no one even knows of him, bro. Like that, he's like non-existent. Okay. Who else did he beat? Nonito Donaire. Dude, he was great like fucking when he was 30 years old. And even then, Guillermo Rigondeaux like shut the narrative on him. They too were trying to build Nonito Donaire to be the next Manny Pacquiao. He was not. Okay. Did you ever see Canelo Alvarez get his face broken in by a 40-year-old? Absolutely not. Naoya got his face broken in by Nonito Donaire. And all he has is a left hand. So no, the comparisons, like, dude, I'm not trying to be mean to Naoya anyway, but you're very good for a little man. Okay. Alex Dog goes, Navarrete and Luis Bernardo Lopez and Rafael Espinoza and Ray Vargas all beat Naoya anyway. I would agree. I would favor Luis Bernardo Lopez. Navarrete is 135 pounder, so that's out of the equation. Rafael Espinoza, I was very impressed with his valiant effort, his heart, especially after being dropped early by Robeisy Ramirez. Amazing. Ray Vargas, I think Naoya Inoue would beat Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas fights very sloppy. I will say this, though. I was extremely impressed with Ray Vargas against Mark Magsayo. I was like, wow. I did not believe that he could beat Mark Magsayo. I love Mark Magsayo. I was like, holy dude, like he made Mark Magsayo look stupid in there. And then Ray Vargas was stole. The only thing that pissed me off about Ray Vargas is like you just became a champion at 126 pounds by beating Mark Magsayo. Why the fuck are you moving up to 130 and fighting Oshaki Foster? Why did you do that? You sold your O. Dude, just create your own legacy. So to your point, the Mexican G, I don't want to see, Bam Rodriguez try to, skyrocket and leap multiple divisions, like do baby steps. Just like those other countrymen from your colleagues, your competitors from those divisions, they're taking their time and slowly gaining experience. You have all the time in the world to do and build your own path. If you can get with Gallo, if you can get with Chocolatito, do that path, then move up, proper and order. Now, if you want to rush and fight, and give up 20 pounds, go ahead. It's not like you're a 122-pound fighter. Like, no, dude, like you got to build up. You know what I mean? Especially just mass. The Mexican G goes, look, man, Inoue is a good fighter, but it gets on my nerves when people try to tell me that he's #1 in the world. That's ridiculous. I agree. Like, dude, look, I already made a video about it. I don't really want to keep repeating myself, but whatever, dude. It's just propaganda. They're gonna do whatever it is. We all know this is Canelo's era. We all know it's Canelo and everybody beneath them. Okay, just to not only be, and just shit on Naoya anyway. Terrence Crawford too. He's a very good fighter. But you started your career at 135 and you're at 147. You're going to fight at 154. But between 135 and 147, that's 12 pounds. Canelo started boxing at 140, went up to 175. That's 35 pounds. Okay? You cannot beat Canelo Alvarez. If you want to fight him, move up to 168 and get knocked the fuck out. I would love for that to happen. All right? I'm still salty about how you dominated my boy Spence. All right. Spence, you got to pay your trainer. That's fucking ridiculous. That's, dude, like, wow. He knew you since he was a kid, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man? Anyway, Canelo is greater. They're just that much greater than all of these fighters in his moment. Okay, all of them. Like, I'm not trying to glaze all over the Mexican star. Like, no, dude, the dude is a fucking stud. Um, but yeah, bro, no, it's not even close how Naoya is number one. Like, it's not. But he's very good. If Canelo did not exist, him and Bud Crawford would be battling for the number one spot. But Canelo is the greatest fighter in this time. He's the greatest Mexican. He's the most accomplished Mexican. He's one that's never neglected defense, right? Like Finito Lopez, Salvador Sanchez. Canelo is up there. He's got the power. He's got the beautiful left hook that Mexican boxers are known for. He's done his people great. Mucho orgullo in that performance with Jaime Munguia. I wish he would have knocked Jaime Munguia out because, like, I had money on Canelo by the KO, so it would have been nice to be 1,200 pounds richer. But I was very proud that he didn't try to embarrass and ruin Jaime. Even when he had him out and about, like, it was like very commendable, very respectful. That's the Canelo that we love, not this motherfucker you, motherfucker this. Like, I don't like that arrogant, like that you've been learning English and they only taught you the curse words, dude. Like, bro, be respectful. You know what I mean? But regardless, bro. Alex Dogos, Luis Neri proved that guy is not the so-called monster like they make him out to be. Plus, Neri looked gassed, fast without his usual power. I agree. Like he looked. I'm sure maybe it was jet lag. I'm sure that I don't know if Japan, like the UK, they allow fighters to use the sauna to cut weight. But yeah, I agree. Luis Neri does throw a lot of punches. It looked to be extremely hot. Dude, he was like fucking drenched in sweat before the fight even started. But he kind of threw a lot of punches in the first round. I'm not saying that he gassed himself out because Luis Neri is a type of fighter that throws 1,000 punches in a fight. But yeah, man, Luis Neri just, he got a little overzealous. I needed him to do more body attack. Just attack more to the body. You have a beautiful counter. Naoya Inoue respects it. You got chin, bro. Attack that body. Don't just headhunt. Naoya Inoue is a beautiful counter puncher. He throws short, snapping shots with thud and precision. Attack that body. You can hurt him to the body. But, it is what it is. That's what happened when he doesn't train with Canelo and that training camp and Eddie Reynoso. Like, I don't know who is his fucking trainer, but regardless, Luis Neri hopefully goes back, Let me see. I heard people say he didn't come at 100%. Of course not. The Japanese fan base, they wanted a rematch because he beat another Japanese fighter. I forgot. I said his name the other time, but like Shoneski, Yukanaka or something like that. Luis Neri beat him twice, and that's what they were trying to do to Naoya anyway. They were just Naoya, it's just like a revenge fight for them. I don't have a problem with Inoue. I just can't stand his fans. They say the stupidest shit. You know what, bro? Like, they're just siding with their fighter. That's what they're supposed to do. Like, they're supposed to feel themselves like, yeah, bro, we're that dude. We got this fighter. We got the best in the world. Like, let them have their moment, bro. And then wait until Venado Lopez, like, hey, carnal, come find me at 126. On that note, Venado Lopez has to unify at 126. Venado is on some legendary shit, bro. Let me just talk about Deer Hunter right now, okay? Alberto Lopez, bro, okay? Ever since my boy from Salinas, Ruben Villa, outboxed him, went on to beat Gabe Flores. He was a 20-1 underdog, and he went on to become a champion, beating the likes of Josh Warrington, all those Lee Wood type of fighters in the UK. Salute to you, Venado. Mick Conlon, all those performances by knockout, but the road does not stop there with just one belt. Go fight Ray Vargas. Go fight the Mexican that just beat Robeisy Ramirez, Rafael Espinoza. Unify with them, bro. Lead all roads to you. So when Naoya Inoue comes to 126, yeah, bro. They got to run through Bambi, bro. You get what I'm saying, Venado Lopez? Like, bro, you got to get that shit done. Do not just squander the opportunity. You're on some legendary comeback shit. Like Venado Lopez, hell yeah, dude. I like him a lot, man. If Alex Daw says, if Canelo got dropped like Naoya and Bud, they'd be saying the worst of him because it's Neri and Bud getting dropped. They don't even make it out to be anything bad, like if it doesn't matter. Let me highlight that comment. Let me highlight that comment. Agreed. Absolutely. You know, if Canelo were to get dropped, the narrative would be this. Oh, he's out of his prime. He's starting to slow down. You know, oh, I don't know if he's motivated anymore. You know, it's hard to train, or, you know, it's hard to be a boxer when you sleep in silk pajamas. Whatever fucking stupid shit they always say, right? They always are so quick to discredit Canelo Alvarez. But with that performance that he had against Jaime, the fact that he didn't take or sit down on the stool, the fact that he threw a lot of punches, people can't say he's no longer in his prime. Because that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to say, oh, that Canelo is slowing down. That's the words that they're using, the phrases. Canelo is slowing down. After 2 weeks ago, that's no longer the case. And to your point, if Canelo were to get dropped in the first round by Jaime, oh my goodness, bro. But to your point, absolutely, the fucking double standard. See, that's the standard of excellence Canelo is. He hasn't been dropped, and he's faced pound for pound fighters, undefeated fighters, huge fighters, Triple G, fucking 37 wins, 34 KOs, Dimitri Bivol, damn near a heavyweight when he rehydrates past one, you know, after he cuts to 175. Those guys couldn't knock out Canelo Alvarez. Now, oh yeah, you got dropped by Luis Neri. He's not even a pound for pound fighter, bro. He's not even a champion. He's not even undefeated. Brendan Figueroa dropped him with a body punch. You get what I'm saying? Like, Luis Neri does not live that fighter life. He likes to drink, he likes to party, he likes to fuck, but he's a very good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Bud Crawford, bro, you got dropped by Mean Machine. You went the distance with my boy Jose Benavidez Jr., who was shot in the leg. And the only reason why you knocked him out is because in the later rounds, he started losing mobility, okay? And he's dragging his feet, and he can't slip punches. When you fight Mexicans, bud, you struggle. What do you think Canelo would do to you, bro? He would make you, like, whatever you did to Spence, that's what Canelo would do to you. You just can't fuck with Canelo, bro. Like, it's like, dude, like, it's okay, bro. Like, you guys are amazing fighters. You guys are millionaires. Like, bro, just enjoy that. You guys are not on Canelo's level. You know what I'm saying? For them to equate to how great Canelo is, it's 35 pounds, okay? It's 35 pounds. Canelo started at 140, topped at 175, became a champion, knocked out Kovalev, lost to Bivol, okay? That's 35 pounds. Naoya Inoue started at 108 to 122. 22 minus 8 is 14. That's 14 pounds. If Naoya would be as great as Canelo, he should be fighting between 140 to 147. Naoya Inoue probably tops at 130. If Oscar Valdez can become a champion at 130, so can Naoya Inoue. Okay? In fact, Naoya Inoue versus Oscar Valdez would be a great fight. Okay. That would be more or less 35 pounds for Naoya Inoue from 108 to 140-ish, 144, 147. He's not going to bang with those 147 pounders. Or even at 140. Teofimo Lopez would fucking disembowel, gut Naoya Inoue. So that's what I'm trying to say. Bud Crawford, I just said it earlier. 147, 47 minus 35, that's 12 pounds. For Bud Crawford to be near the level of greatness for pound, if we're talking about pounds, he would need to go all the way to 168. That would essentially be 33 pounds. From where he started at 135 to 168, that's 33 pounds. Okay. Canelo is that much greater. He's 20 pounds greater than Naoya and Bud Crawford, respectively. Okay. So, no, they're all beneath Canelo, man. Like, dude, it's crazy, man. I'm not trying to be like, oh, dude, you're just saying this because I'm Mexican. No, dude, it's just simple math. If Canelo got dropped, okay, I read that one. Alex Dog goes, but no way Naoya and Bud over Canelo when they get dropped like that. And right away, Naoya had scared face on his look. Yeah, I agree. Canelo never has had that look on his face, let alone get dropped. Now, NUA and but the Mexican G goes, I think Canelo let off the gas because he didn't want to ruin the career of another Mexican. I agree, man. I think that he felt sympathy. I think he had a lot of respect for his fellow countrymen. They know that both guys were giving a good fight. And yeah, he didn't want to embarrass him. Um, he let him live. He kind of carried him. And honestly, I applaud that. I do wish that, because I did have money on a bet. So I'm a little salty because I won money on Ryan Garcia and I parlayed that. Well, not parlayed it, but, I made a different bet for Canelo to win by knockout. So, you know, I'm not rich like that. So, it'd been nice to win that money. But I'm glad that he didn't because, you know, just orgullo, bro. Just to have the pride. Like, that's your brother right there. That's your brother in arms. You guys are competing very well. He can't hurt you. You've already, and you're just carrying him and you're giving a really good fight. Just just a lot of respect, bro. Like, that's all I can say. That was very respectful for Canelo to do that. You can say that he took the high road. And if there was any means of ill intent, there was every opportunity in that book, given the stuff that Oscar De La Hoya was saying, like, I'm your daddy and all this shit. Like, he could have done that, inflicted a lot of pain and punishment, and he didn't. Like, just amazing, bro. Like, I was so happy for that night, bro. Like so much, like, dude, I was just happy, bro. That was good stuff. The Mexican G goes, Alex Dog goes, Jaime has a great chin. He has a chin. Round 4, he took a nasty shot by Canelo. I don't know how he was still standing up. The uppercut was brutal, but noticed after the 5th, he decided to box him, and he could have probably taken him out. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Jaime did good for the first 3 rounds. He stood disciplined, a lot of in and out movement like Bivol. He tried to do his best Bivol impersonation for the first 3 rounds. And in the 4th round, he lost a little focus. Like, he started staying closer. He wanted to bang with Canelo, and boom, uppercut, dropped. And it took him essentially 5 rounds to regain his confidence. Maybe Canelo was carrying him, but it took him till the 9th round to Jaime to start letting the punches go again. And that was his last and final round that he won, 10, 11, and 12. Canelo takes over again, lands some hellacious bombs on him and kind of holds him up in the final round. Kind of like Mike Tyson did to Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson in the exhibition fight, he landed a nasty ass punch, and you saw like Roy Jones kind of like clinch and hug. And again, Mike Tyson didn't really try to embarrass his homie. They know that they're there to put on a good show. It's not really about, I'm the better fighter. We know Mike Tyson's better than Roy Jones, but regardless, it's very nice to see that that respect inside the ring. Alex Dog goes, but Canelo would have gotten hurt doing so. So it was a win-win for both. Canelo looks impressive and Jaime gets experience and didn't get humiliated when losing. I agree, man. Just spot on comment. Absolutely. Correct. I will say this, though. If Jaime had Canelo hurt, Jaime's throwing 500 punches because he has something to prove. So Jaime would not have, quote unquote, carried or showed sympathy towards Canelo. He's out there to make a name for himself, right? Because the expectations on the table was turned. If Jaime was hurting Canelo and dropped him with an uppercut, he's trying to end him right then and there. He's actually trying to make him a knockout reel. And sometimes that's what I tell my nephew. It's like when he's competing and fighting in these tournaments, it's like, dude, stop trying to be their friends. Don't show them sympathy. Show them respect after the fight and in the fight. But if you have them hurt, finish them. Because if the tables were turned, they're trying to finish you. So with Canelo, obviously there's levels to this. So he showed a lot of respect to his fellow countrymen. But if the tables were turned, Jaime would have not showed sympathy towards Canelo. He would try to put Canelo, try to end him, and have a knockout reel. Like, why wouldn't he? Like, the level of stardom would skyrocket. Oh my God, upset of the year, X, Y, and Z, all these narratives. Oh, Canelo's done. You get what I'm saying? Jaime wouldn't have showed that same sympathy towards his young countrymen. But Canelo did. You can say he's the better man, whatever the narrative you guys want to go with. But I just want, just to your point, like, Canelo could have gotten hurt doing that, especially with an undefeated knockout artist as of Jaime Munguia's caliber. Him and Freddie Roach, they're gonna amount to great things. I can't wait to see what Jaime accomplishes in his career post this loss. Again, going back to losing, just because you lose, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. In fact, I'm more excited with the career of Devin Haney and Jaime Munguia after this loss because I want to see what adjustments they make and how they look post that fight. You see, I can say that Devin Haney already had a loss against Vasily Lomachenko, right? Loma beat him, and he still went on to do good things. He still went on to fight Regis and still went on to fight Ryan Garcia. That's legacy. That's what it looks like. So a loss doesn't define you, man. You know, it's the old adage, the old saying in boxing: bounce back from your loss. Doesn't matter how many times you get dropped, it's about how you get back up, X, Y, and Z. Like, I know it's like nothing new under the sun, but those things hold true to this day. There's a reason why those sayings have stood the test of time, right? The Mexican Gucci goes, yeah, I was happy with how the fight ended. I wanted to see Munguia versus Charlo next. Yeah, man, I think any type of fight with Munguia right now would be great. Munguia versus Edgar Berlanga, Munguia versus Jamal Charlo, Munguia versus the Frenchman and Billy. I would like Munguia to fight the Canadian. A lot of people don't know who he is, but his name is Eric Bazinian. I would like for Munguia to fight him. Undefeated fighter. I think Munguia could beat him. I think that would be a great fight. Jamal Charlo, I like Jermel. Just disappointed in them, man. I'm really big fans of them, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing, dude. They're doing everything in their power to just serve time in prison. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, bro. Like, if I ever saw like people ruin, whatever, dude. I don't know, man. Just disappointing to see shit like that. The Mexican G goes, I want to see Canelo versus Crawford. It would be a horrific outcome. Crawford would get sent to Freddy Krueger. Look, man, like, I like Bud Crawford. Like, I am a Bud Crawford fan. I wouldn't want to see that fight. You know, like I didn't want to see Jermel versus Canelo. It's like, Jermel, I like you, bro. I'm a fan of you. You've done great things. Now go fight Sebastian Fundora. You've done great things. Now go fight Tim Tszyu. Defend your throne. What you've accomplished, don't ruin it for a high paycheck. You get what I'm saying? Like, you stayed there, the last man at 154, right? You fought all these dudes. Stay there, bro. Fight Madrimov. Fight Bud Crawford when he decides to move up at 154. Do not go to 168 and get your ass beat by Canelo. It's not your dude. It's not gonna work, and that's exactly what happened. It did not work. He lost so much momentum. He lost his throne, bro. He lost his fucking kingdom that he built for his whole life at 154 to just squander it and throw it all away for a couple million more dollars, dude. Oh my goodness. Same thing with Bud Crawford, bro. You did amazing performance at 147 against Errol Spence. No one imagined that. Not like that. To what? To let guys like Boots Ennis, dudes that don't deserve it, to get a title from you? Come on, bro. Knock them out too. That's your throne, bro. I don't know, man. It's it sucks to see. It just sucks to see. I don't know, dude. It's just weird. Alex Dog goes, Canelo beats Crawford. It's not even a question. I have Bud losing to Israeli, by the way. Woo-hoo! I will say this. All right, let me read the rest of the comment. I have Bud losing to Israel, by the way. That guy is dangerous and is tricky as fuck. That style has always given American problems, the Eastern European style. I agree. I don't know if he's going to beat Bud Crawford because I feel like Israeli Madrimov, he's a prospect. I know that he beat Kurbanov, the Russian, but I don't think highly of Kurbanov. I do think highly of Israel. He's really good. He's big. He's strong. It's going to be a much more competitive bout than what Spence gave Crawford. You know, Israel doesn't come with that baggage. He's undefeated, but he has 10 or 11 pro fights. Crawford has 38, right? So that has to mean something, right? It's not like Israel is Triple G. You don't have that experience against that type of style. You don't have that experience as a box. Like Israeli is a prospect, you know, and he shouldn't be a champion. I mean, going back to Jermell Charlo really fucked up the legacy and the meaning at 154. And guys like Israel, guys like Tim Tszyu, guys like Sebastian Fedora coming off a knockout loss and a year layoff have the opportunity to become unified champions in such a quick turnaround. Why? Because Jermell Charlo refused to defend his throne, right? Rather than having like a Super 8 tournament and a single elimination where Tim Tszyu has to fight Israel, Kurbanov has to fight Sebastian Fedora, Brian Castano has to fight Tony Harrison, you know, have like a little round robin, eliminate one another. The last contender standing fights Jermell Charlo, but we don't get none of that. So guys that are essentially prospects or coming off a 1-year layoff or a knockout loss, guess what? They have the opportunity to get a championship belt or two on their waist because Jermell Charlo refused to do the correct thing. It's weird. It's very I don't know. That's the state of boxing. It's, I guess. Alex Dog goes, but yeah, to your point, Israel might beat Crawford. That's a very good fight, a very dangerous fight. I'm excited and extremely looking forward to that one. It's gonna be good. Yeah, Tank would never fight Loma. He would get exposed and beaten up pretty bad. The only reason he wouldn't get knocked out is because he has a chin. Yeah, he has a chin. Loma doesn't hit hard enough. Also, I just don't want to see that fight now because if Lomachenko, according to this right here,
years or 11 years, has to fight as many fights as possible, extremely quick, because he's very, very old.
if he has to fight extremely quick because he's very, very old, then what is Lomachenko 9 years after the fact? Is he very, very young now, Tank? Floyd? Is Lomachenko very, very young now that finally Tank has every single advantage, youth, power, size over a very, very young man? Now, that's the reason why I don't want what Lomachenko has accomplished in his career and then dishonorable men like Tank Davis get the opportunity to ruin that legacy that Loma has established for himself. Fuck Tank Davis. That's all I gotta say. I like Tank Davis, but when it comes down to a legacy fighter, he's not that. I look at Tank Davis like a Jake Paul, right? And in fact, I'm much more impressed with Jake Paul because he picked up boxing 2-3 years ago and he's knocking out legends. Because I know a lot of amateur fighters that have a lot of fights that don't possess that power that Jake Paul has, and they couldn't knock out guys like Tyron Woodley. Guys that I know like Angel Chavez and Jorge Maravillo, they wouldn't be able to knock out Tyron Woodley. Jake Paul could. You get what I'm saying? Like, that has to stand for something. In the short amount of time that Jake Paul has been able to pick up the sport of boxing, it's on par with Tank Davis. If it's all about making money, well, Jake Paul is doing that an equivalent on a consistent basis. But yeah, Alex Daw, that's the reason why I don't want Lomachenko to never fight Tank Davis. Tank Davis does not deserve a Lomachenko sweepstakes. He doesn't deserve that. I would love for Loma, you know, at one point for that fight to happen. But regardless of the case, man, god damn, I'm dehydrated as hell. I went to the beach yesterday, and it's about like 70 degrees. There's a beautiful spot in Pacific Grove called Lovers Point. If you guys ever find yourself, you know, in Monterey County, Pacific Grove, anywhere of those, man, just look up some of these sceneries. Pfeiffer Falls, Pfeiffer Beach, Lovers Point, Asilomar. There's these amazing beaches here with beautiful white sand at times at dawn. The sand turns purple because of the algae. Pfeiffer Falls. In fact, I'll show you guys. If you guys ever find yourself in this region of California, Monterey Bay, around that one, go to this beautiful beach, Pfeiffer Beach and Pfeiffer Falls. Sorry, Alex, I have to drop down your comment really quick. Hide current comment, I think. Right here. If you guys ever go to these beaches, I would recommend you guys to do so. They call that arc right there in that big rock. It's a huge rock, by the way. All right. They call it the gates of heaven. If you catch it correctly at a certain amount of time, the sun does like this silhouette crescendo of light seeping through it, and it's beautiful like that. The pictures are not filtered and they're not edited. Like the sand is beautiful. So I recommend you guys, if you guys ever find yourselves to be in this area, to go to these beaches, man. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. But anyway, I went to the beach yesterday, and I feel extremely dehydrated. It wasn't too hot, but when you're out there for 5 to 6 hours, man, it gets, even with the shade and the tents that we pulled up, it still gets hot, But let me see this real quick. I like Bob Arrow when he starts talking his shit.
That question. Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready.
Look, to be honest with you, Tank Davis wasn't ready 6-7 years ago, and he's not ready now. You see, Tank Davis couldn't beat Lomachenko then, and he can't beat him now. Okay? Tank isn't that dude. All right? Because if Tank were that dude, in terms of today's standards, why isn't Tank Davis undisputed? Why wasn't he undisputed at 130 or at 126 or at 135? Why did he now want to fight Teofimo Lopez? Why didn't he want to fight Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney? If Tank Davis is that dude, why did he not want to fight Ryan Garcia at 140? Tank Davis has a tattoo on his forehead, and it says Pussy. You guys get what I'm saying? Tank Davis wasn't good then, and he's not good now. The same Tank Davis that couldn't knock out Yurukis Gamboa, 40 years old, with a torn Achilles. You mean to tell me that Tank Davis could defeat a prime Lomachenko? You couldn't beat Lomachenko then. You can't beat him now. And that's the truth. Okay? I like Tank Davis, but that's the reality. He beat my boy Leo Santa Cruz. I think Leo Santa Cruz was, inactive for 2 years, moved up 2 weight divisions, give or take or so. And then Tank Davis knocks him out with a beautiful uppercut. It was a very good competitive bout, but the power difference and the size difference was visibly. It was like you can tell every single hook that Tank Davis threw, the whole body, even with tight defense, Leo Santa Cruz was being tossed like a rag doll left and right. Beautiful counter slip uppercut. Oh my goodness. I've never seen such a impactful punch. That's like your favorite truck, like your favorite dog getting hit by a truck. That was amazing. That was a nasty ass uppercut. Brutal. But regardless, Tank Davis wasn't the dude then, and he's not now. Okay. The fight with Frank Martin, that's a very good fight, by the way. That's tricky. Tank might lose, right? Just because I don't think that highly of Tank Davis. Pitbull Cruz beat him. I love Pitbull Cruz, right? But regardless, Tank's got some very good skill, but guess what? You're not fighting the other skillful fighters as well. And you fought Ryan Garcia, but it came with a catch weight and a rehydration clause. Like you capped him, right? You can fight Mario Barrios at 140, but with a rehydration clause, knowing that Barrios is already moving up to 147. And no disrespect to Mario Barrios, but he's an okay fighter, right? He's a little bit of an overachiever. A lot of respect for Barrios. I like him a lot too. Very humble, honorable young man that never ducks a fade. You'll never see him back out from any challenge, and I like that. It's very respectable. But yeah, man. Loma would have beaten you then. You had Floyd Mayweather trying to protect you, and Loma beats you now. And this is what Bob Arum has to say about that.
Don't ask stupid stuff about Gervonta Davis when his promoter says he's not ready.
Look, guys, I think I went on a little too long. Talked about a lot of stuff that I really wasn't supposed to talk about. But on that note, guys, happy Mother's Day to all of you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy the company with your families. Eat some delicious food. Get some beautiful sun. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys. I mean, unless there's a fight on a Wednesday on Pro Box. But I'll see you guys after Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Again, just to recap, I'm sure that the powers that be want Tyson Fury to beat Usyk so they can have a mega showdown in the UK versus Joshua and Fury. But I hope Alexander Usyk knocks Fury out. That's the only shot that he's really gonna have, man. So if Otto Wallin can put on a performance and cut up Fury, so can Usyk. Come on, Usyk, bring it home, bro. Come on, bro. Bring it home. Become undisputed. That would be amazing. And cruiserweight, heavyweight division, beating Joshua, beating Fury. Then maybe the winner, Wilder and Zhang. Let's go, Usyk, bro. Legacy, bro. Legacy. The Mexican G. Happy Mother's Day to all of you and to your family, to your wives. Stay safe, my friend. And a la próxima, hermano. Take care, guys.